Hello. Welcome to the weekly Top 10 news brought to you by Solarika, the world's first online community dedicated to solar energy. Since May of this year, Saudi Arabian plans to install 41 gigawatts of solar capacity by 2032 have been known. Details are beginning to emerge as to how these plans will be built out. Bloomberg have reported that Khalid Al-Suleiman, the vice president in the King Abdullah City for Atomic and Renewable Energy, has told the Saudi press agency that the first solar project will begin construction in early next year, to be completed in 2015. The project's construction will begin once official approval is received. The 41 gigawatts of solar Saudi Arabia plans would require $109 billion in investment. 16 gigawatts is planned to be photovoltaic plants, with the remainder CSP. California-based Amonix, Incorporated, a manufacturer of concentrated photovoltaic CPV systems, recently set a world record with a CPV module that converts over one-third of direct sunlight into electricity in real-world conditions. The National Renewable Energy Laboratory (NREL) tested and confirmed that the new Amonix solar module has reached an outdoor efficiency rating of 33.5%, with a peak of 34.2%. The figures produced by the company are the highest ever recorded for a concentrator photovoltaic cell in a real-world testing environment, beating the previous record of 30.3%, also set by Amonix. Other CPV system manufacturers have also claimed to achieve similar high-efficiency ratings. Simprius and the U.S. military's Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency both reported 33.9 and 42.8 efficiency ratings respectively. But according to Sarah Kurtz, an NREL scientist, an accredited lab hasn't verified these claims. Scientists from Stanford University have contributed to the push to lower costs of photovoltaic cells by creating one entirely made of carbon. Current commercially available solar cells are made of silicon, making them relatively expensive to produce, but the Stanford research team has created a low-cost, all-carbon solar cell made of electrodes and photoactive layers made from a combination of 3 carbon allotropes, fullerenes, graphene and nanotubes. While these carbon elements have all been incorporated in the creation of solar cells before, this is the first time they have been used in an all-carbon device. The prototype can only absorb sunlight and convert it to electricity at a modest rate of 1%, in part because carbon is more reactive to near-infrared light, instead of more abundant visible light. In support of the Obama administration's energy strategy, the U.S. Department of Energy on November 19, 2012, announced 10 small business-led projects to speed solar energy innovation from the lab to the marketplace through the Sunshot Initiative. This $10 million investment will help significantly reduce the total installed cost of solar energy systems and strengthen American leadership in this growing global industry. The Australian federal government has released a new round of funding for early and mid-career photovoltaic researchers. Only days after bringing forward the conclusion of its residential photovoltaic subsidy program, the Australian government has released a round of funding for solar research. The Australian $3.3 million $3.43 grants will go to 11 researchers working on a range of solar projects. The research grant recipients will join 31 researchers already working on photovoltaic and CSP projects at the Australia Solar Institute. The projects include a prototype hybrid concentrating photovoltaic thermal rooftop system. In a statement announcing the funding, the government put the funding in the context of the odd $17 billion to renewable energy through the newly created Australian Renewable Energy Agency (ARENA) and the Clean Energy Finance Corporation. The skill development program is set to be expanded in 2013. The European Union has said it will provide €25 million towards the cost of 22 megawatts photovoltaic project in Burkina Faso. It is expected to be the biggest plant of its kind in West Africa, when online in late 2013. The Zagtali plant will be sited 20 kilometers from the capital of Burkina Faso, Ouagadougou, and its 96,000 solar panels will generate 32 gigawatt-hour per year, providing 6% of the country's current electricity production, enough renewable electricity to meet the needs of 40,000 people. EU Commissioner Andris Piebalgs announced the financial support last week. The European Investment Bank and the French Development Agency agreed to supply a further €38 million in loans for the project, which the Burkinabe Ministry of Mines and Energy says will be put out to tender soon. The US, Brunei and Indonesia have proposed a new joint framework aimed at securing affordable and cleaner energy suppliers for the Asia-Pacific region. The partnership will focus on driving investment and facilitating progress on 4 key regional priorities, namely renewables and cleaner energy, markets and interconnectivity, the emerging role of natural gas, and sustainable development. It will work closely with the World Bank and the Asian Development Bank to enhance their work in the region on these priorities. In order to help U.S. manufacturers and businesses, the U.S. has agreed to provide up to $6 billion to support the partnership. The U.S. Exim Bank will launch a program to make available $5 billion in export credit financing to eligible countries in the region over the next 4 years. This will help to increase access to American technology, services and equipment for the implementation of energy projects. The Overseas Private Investment Corporation (OPIC), meanwhile, will provide $1 billion to finance sustainable power and energy infrastructure projects. On November 19, 2012, IBC Solar, based in Bad Staffelstein, Germany, announced that it has completed a 5-megawatt solar photovoltaic power plant in Moniego, northern Italy. The PV system has been completed and connected to the public electricity grid in just 49 days. The PV plant, on an area covering 140,000 square meters, includes a total of 21,189 PV modules with a nominal rating of 235 watt-peak each and 321 inverters. Work began at the end of July 2012. The plant was finished 2 weeks ahead of schedule. A new report, released this week by Frost & Sullivan, has predicted that venture capital VC funding to renewable energy technologies is set to triple by 2020. The analysts report that this is due to environmental support for lower carbon footprint and innovation in renewable energy technologies. Solar photovoltaic technology, notes Frost & Sullivan, has received the most VC funding between 2006 and 2008 for new technology and capacity expansion. It also notes that thin-film solar was among the most pursued green energy technologies, according to Kardec. On November 22, 2012, Schott Solar, based in Mainz, Germany, produced its millionth solar receiver in its facility at Mitterteich, Bavaria. The receivers are used in concentrating solar power plants (CSP) to convert concentrated solar radiation into heat that is used to produce steam initially, and then to generate electricity inside a steam turbine. Schott notes that CSP technology is considered to hold great promise for the future because of the possibility of thermal energy storage and therefore a guaranteed stability of the power grid. Schott expects the entire CSP market to account for an annual market volume of €15 billion, $19 billion over the next few years. According to the U.S. National Renewable Energy Laboratory, roughly 60 CSP power plants are already connected to the grid in various regions of the world. Another 40 have now reached the construction or concrete planning phase.